My name is Paul Cook Edwards. I'm the founder and co-director of the Emotional Intelligence Urban Initiative. The Emotional Intelligence Urban Initiative is a program within the International Society for Emotional Intelligence. If you want to get some more information on who we are, you can go to emotionalintelligencesociety.org. We have spearheaded an urban mental health campaign geared towards the black community, to raise awareness and to provide resilient strategies. We all know that COVID has put many of us, the country and the planet, in a great duress. Within the black community, there's some statistics I'd like to share with you. I'm here with Ethan Smythe, who's my co-producer and co-host for this urban mental health campaign. And so I'm going to share some statistics with the audience and share some statistics with Ethan, and we're going to provide a little feedback, opinions, and ideas on these statistics, which are alarming as it pertains to the black community and mental health. So, to cut straight to the chase, I will start with some interesting statistics here to me. As a matter of fact, for your reference point, these statistics are coming from the Mental Health America. You can go to MHAnational.org, and you can look at these statistics for yourself, which I think is very important. I'm going to start, Ethan. Let me introduce Ethan. Ethan, how are you today, sir?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. How's your mental health today?
Challenging.
Challenging.
It's always challenging. These are challenging times, so you just make the best out of it.
That's right. I'm trying to be resilient. I say the same for myself. Challenging.
How about you? How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm in the same boat with you. You know, I'm challenged. I'm challenged from COVID. I'm challenged with life. So this is for myself, for Ethan. This is for all of us. We teach emotional intelligence, and it's about empathy and self-awareness. Those are one of the abilities of emotional intelligence: self-awareness and empathy, and understanding others, and how to find ways to self-regulate so we can be healthy and interact with each other in a healthy fashion. So I'm going to share these statistics here. The first one is Black and African American people living below poverty are twice as likely to report serious psychological distress than those living over 2 times the poverty level. Anytime if you want to interject, interject. Adult blacks and African Americans are more likely to have feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness than adult whites. Blacks and African Americans are less likely than white people to die from suicide at all ages. However, Black and African American teenagers are more likely to attempt suicide than white teenagers.
Wait. Can you read that again, please?
Okay. Blacks and African Americans are less likely than white people to die from suicide at all ages. However, Black and African American teenagers are more likely to attempt suicide than white teenagers.
So, black teenagers will attempt suicide more than white teenagers?
But they're less likely to die from suicide.
So they fail at killing themselves more than white kids fail at killing themselves. Is that right?
Yes. Blacks and African Americans are less likely than white people to die from suicide at all ages. And also, for the record, the teenage suicide rate amongst children of color has gone up. It's the highest it's ever been. So let's start with, I like this, I don't like it, but I think this is a strong point here. The second point that I read. Adult blacks and African Americans are more likely to have feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and worthlessness than adult whites. So we are more inclined.
That's understood, right?
That's understood, but the question would be why?
Because we live in America.
Because we live in America.
America's more stressful. I'm going to make make this statistic up myself.
Okay.
America's more stressful on black people than it is on white people.
Well, definitely. So I'm gonna strengthen your point. Because people gonna say, well, why? Okay. So, I'll strengthen Ethan's point. Just bear with me. And so, yeah, this is America. And when we look at situations like, for example, more than 1 in 5 black and African American people in the U.S. live in poverty as of 2018. Women are the heads of household in roughly 30% of black and African American homes, compared to 9% of white homes. So when you say that black people are more impacted by sadness, by worthlessness, it's because we live in America, and so we live in America. And so we have 30% black women heads of households compared to 9% of white women in homes. Okay. Historical adversity. Historical adversity, which includes slavery, sharecropping, and race-based exclusion from health, educational, social, and economic resources, translates into socioeconomic disparities experienced by black and African American people today. Socioeconomic status, in turn, is linked to mental health. I'll repeat that. Socioeconomic status, in turn, is linked to mental health. People who are impoverished, homeless, incarcerated, or have substance use problems are at high risk for mental health. I'm going back to, yes, we are in America. Despite progress made over the years, racism continues to have an impact on the mental health of black and African American people. Negative stereotypes and attitudes of rejection have decreased. Some people may not agree with that, but continue to occur with measurable adverse consequences. Historical and contemporary instances of negative treatment have led to the mistrust of authorities, many of whom are not seen as having the best interests of black and African Americans in mind. So, any comments?
So yeah, well, hey, the numbers and our experience speak for themselves. So tell me, the Emotional Intelligence Urban Initiative looks to help the community in what way? They're having a mental health campaign, right? So what can be done to help the status and the condition of the urban community?
Well, this is a part one. There's so much information I'd like to share, but to answer that question, for now, the whole purpose of the mental health campaign is because of some of these statistics that I've read, we want to raise the awareness of the type of trauma that people of color are facing and provide resilience strategies. Because if we don't face this thing, it's not going to go away. And so we're going to bring in the future some micro-learning experiences. We're going to have further discussions on how we can help the people, our people, to build resilient strategies. And we're going to use media. Media consumes so much of our time, and we consume ourselves with media so much, and so impacted by media that we need to use media for our health, and that's what this campaign is about.
So Paul, why don't you let people know in the meantime where they can get resources from EIUI?
So you can go to the emotionalintelligencesociety.org, and there you can get a good idea of what we do, what we're doing. If you want to become a member, you can do that. And there are some resources there, not many at this time. But we're gonna follow up with this. I don't have much more to share, so we can be of assistance. I'd like to share that we can talk about being black living in America, in the United States, and how it's impacted us generation after generation. But we have to also take care of ourselves, because no one else is going to do it, right? And so with that, I'm going to share one or two more statistics with you. One of which is Serious mental illness rose among all ages of Black and African American people between 2008 and 2018. I'll repeat that. Serious mental illness has risen among people of color of all ages between 2008 and 2018. Right? Black and African American men are concerned with the stigma and the African American people in general. When I say African American, we also that encompasses, that phrase encompasses Caribbean American immigrants and so on who lived here, who live here. Black and African American hold beliefs related to stigma, psychological openness, and help seeking, which in turn affects their coping behaviors. Right? Let me share this with you, which is very powerful to me. As it pertains to families, if I could find it here. Well, let me take a break so I can find this.